There we go.
All right. Hey, Mike Hinkie.
Top of the evening.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great.
Best day of the week. Best day of the week.
Absolutely best day of the week.
Yes, sir. Well, guys, hey, and Mike Hinkie, I wanted to tell you, we got your ticket switched up. I think Lisa got them all switched over to Anaheim. So
They're not done yet, but they will be.
they'll be done this week. So
Thank you.
everybody
No
that wasn't
problem.
able to, that missed was able to re-register for the next one. So I had to pull those people because they had emergency. So it was all good. So if you haven't muted when you come on, just mute yourself. Guys, welcome to the call. I'm going to start off and finish. Lisa's got some special guests. I'm so glad that you guys turned in tonight. If you can text some people and get them on, I'm super excited about this call. Number one, I'm super excited about it because I'm in Vegas. And it was funny, I was just teasing at Grant Cardone's 10X event. As you guys can see, it's where I'm at. I'm in Vegas. And I was just saying this with Kathy. What happens in Vegas doesn't stay in Vegas. We get to bring it back to you guys. I've been recording some stuff. If you guys haven't seen on my Facebook page, go on my Facebook page and listen to Ed Milas talk. It was awesome. We're all, every single day, and before I turn this over to my wife, every single day, we are creating our story. We're somebody's watching. If it's for me and Lisa, God's watching. So we're creating our story for God. If it's whatever your story is, you're creating your story every single day. People are watching you. People are watching how you act. People are watching how you react to certain situations and things that you post on Facebook. And it's funny, I had some people talk to me the last couple of days about to post and things not to post and how to talk about that. And in the coming days and weeks, we're going to be talking about that. So what I'm going to do is at the beginning of this call, I'm going to make my wife the host. Then she can turn it back over to me after we get to that point. But I'm going to let my wife start off. I know she has some guests. And so she's going to take it from here. And then I'm going to finish with a slide presentation from Brandon and some stuff that we've put together. We've been praying about this. And we want things to be disciplined and duplicatable so that everybody is on the same page. And that's what we're super excited about because I've been in some elite calls. The corporate staff is putting together a slide presentation, the Pro 9s are. And I talked to one of them today, and I showed him what we were doing, and he said it's on point. It'll be very similar. There might not even be a whole lot of changes. So I'm going to talk about that at the end. But now I'm going to turn it over to my second favorite person in the world besides God is an amazing wife, Lisa. So, honey, take it away. Go back.
All right. You're kind of freezing up there now and again. But can you see my screen okay? Perfect. And video good too? Awesome. So he kind of stole a little bit of the thunder by welcoming everybody. I put together this cool little slide about our team called Leadership Development Training. And oops, I went a little too quick. I've got a couple of special guests here. Got a couple of things we're going to go over, a little bit of recap from Elite Academy. And our first guest is Kathy Bernard. She and Daniel, you can see her picture there from the Elite reception. We had a great Gatsby theme. It was a lot of fun. They are actually our enrollers. Kathy and Daniel have been married for 35 years, have 6 kids, 2 grandchildren. They are currently ranked at Elite Pro 8. And like I said, they're our enroller. And so, Kathy, I just kind of basically have 2 questions for you. One's probably a simple question. The other one might be a little bit more. But first question is, I'd like you to share a little bit about the importance of being focused and remaining focused, especially from the standpoint of getting to the elite ranks and maintaining elite ranks.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. It's an honor to be on tonight with Lisa and Mike. And really, it's pretty simple. A lot of times when we're talking with people, people start to make it a lot of more complex than what it is. And one of the biggest questions that we get, because people want to move forward, is they're wondering, why am I not moving forward in my business? Why am I stuck? Have any of you ever felt that way and you've thought it or you've said it, and maybe you're at a rank and you're just like, man, we just can't get to the next rank. We're stuck here. I think if all of us were to be honest, we've probably all thought that, if we're honest with ourselves. And I think the main thing that we have to remember as far as trying to move forward and accomplish the things that we want to accomplish, it all comes down to something really simple. You think, why can't I move forward? And some of us say, oh, it's because I'm scared and I can't talk to people, or I don't know enough about the science, or I don't know the comp plan very well, or whatever. But really, the main thing it comes down to is very simple. And this is one thing that we talked about at Elite Academy that really stood out to me, was it's our mindset. Okay? And a quote that came from Elite Academy is this: choices determine your destiny, but your thinking determines your choices. You choose how you think. You do this by determining who you will listen to, what you will watch, and who you will hang with. So right now, first of all, when you get into this business, as far as your mindset, a lot of times we're stuck because we have this mindset that people have put in our minds, or we put it in ourselves, that we can't succeed, that we will fail, that we can't do anything right. And we listen to those voices, those mindsets, and we're choosing to think that way. But we have a choice that we can start shifting our thinking, so that now we start making different choices, because now we're listening to new people and we're watching and doing new things. That's why it's so important that you listen to people who are doing the right practices in the business, and you're watching them and you're hanging out with them. Elite Academy is a perfect example of how we hang out with other people, whether they're in our team or other teams, and we're learning and we're asking questions. And as we do that, what happens is it starts to build our belief, and we start thinking, having a different mindset, like, wow, maybe I can do that. But we have to choose to think that way. And when you start thinking correctly and having the right mindset, then that's going to affect your business. And one example they used at Elite that I loved was, being in Florida, we do tubing. And he gave the example about tubing down a river. And the thing is, he was making the analogy that when you go down a river, you basically are going down with the current. And really, there's no effort to go down the river. You just kind of float along. But the thing is you can be enjoying that. But if you aren't careful and you don't pay attention, maybe you start snoozing or shutting your eyes or whatever, then you end up getting caught in the branches, and you get caught over in the side, and you have to kind of get out of the bulrushes and all the things on the side. But the thing is that if you try to go upstream, it's really hard, because now you're going to fight against the current and tread water, and it really takes a lot of effort to go upstream. And that's how it is with our business. It's not an easy, like, I'm going to get on an inner tube and just float down and not do anything and just enjoy myself. It's going to take us time and effort and work to push and go the opposite direction against what people might say, what other people are doing, and staying really focused on our business, because we want to be successful. So a lot of it has to do with your thinking and your beliefs. So my thing my takeaway from all that was that we have to keep paddling to stay on track. If you're going tubing, you have to keep on track. So doing that is setting goals so that you can be able to manage your belief. And that's important, because right now we have all these incentives and stuff. And so now we have to keep the right mentality of like, now we're going to implement these things that the company has given us to do. And we have to have the right mindset. And as we have the right mindset, then it's going to lead to a heart set. Okay, so now you're going to take your business, you know what you want, you know what your goals are, and now it leads into a heart set where, hey, I'm doing this stuff not only to be successful for myself, but I have a heart. I care for these people. I want them to be healthy. I want them to have financial freedom. And then you're able to put the two together. You there, Lisa?
I had myself muted, so I started to talk. That's great. And that's actually a really good lead-in to what my husband's going to be talking about later, when you were saying that people are like, I can't talk to people, or I don't know the products well enough. I don't know what to say. I don't know the comp plan. And so by kind of standardizing it a little bit more, I mean, we've had a very good, slide presentation. We're just going to fine tune it a little bit so that the brand new person can sit there from their phone or their own laptop and just zip right through it even easier. So thank you so much, Kathy. And then next, we're going to go on to Wendy Hill and Randy. They've been married for almost 15 years. She's got 2 kids, 2.5 grandchildren. The half is on the way, obviously. She's our newest Premier Pro 4 in the ranks. And so, Wendy, are you unmuted?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yep, we've got you.
Okay.
Awesome. Good. Thanks. So, first of all, we want to publicly congratulate you on reaching the Premier Pro 4 rank. What an accomplishment. So, it's great. If you could just share for a few minutes, I got a couple questions for you as well. First of all, Kathy even mentioned it, kind of your mindset in her, sharing with us. What kind of a mindset shift did you have to make, if any, to really get yourself kind of pushing through? And how long did it take you from when you enrolled to actually hitting the rank of Pro 4?
Okay. Well, first, thank you for having me on the call. I appreciate it. I appreciate both you and Mike. Thank you so much. I signed up in February 2016, and I dabbled in the business just a little while and didn't take it seriously until my first EA. And so for me, between the time I signed up till the time I made Pro 4, it was 22 months. And I know for some people it's quicker, but I'm thankful for my progress. And everyone's pace is different, but the way I look at it is that we're in the company, so I feel like we're ahead no matter where we are in the company. I'm more ahead than somebody who hasn't even signed up yet. And as far as my mindset, my mindset shift, the first thing I realized was that I needed to go through some personal growth. I knew I was never going to make it in this company, in this business, if I did not stop and start working on my personal growth. I knew I had to accept my flaws and my weaknesses, and I knew I had to change them. I also realized that I had to stop trying to be like other people. I would look at people and think, oh, I could never do that. But then I realized it doesn't matter, because I am me and I need to be who I am. So I kept trying to look at it that way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did somebody just say thank you?
It's all right.
Okay. All right. So, a kid came into my business, babysitting, and I started wondering, how am I going to fit my business into that? But really, I was working full time at the business, and I almost felt like I was burning myself out. So when the babysitting came, I thought, well, okay, what am I going to do with this? Let me work with what I have. So now what I do is I work first thing in the morning, I babysit, and then I go start working in the evening. So that's almost forced me to put myself on a schedule, which has actually been better for me.
Very good.
I've also intentionally have devotional time in the morning. I've realized if I do not do that, I am worthless. And I am trying to let God be my pilot and me be the co-pilot, because he can do it so much better than me, and I try to listen to him. Who was it just said the other day? Oh, it was Brandon Cunningham talking about 5 main things each day. That was good for me. And I realized that I'm kind of doing that already. I'm doing my devotional, my Facebook, catching up on emails. I'm always trying to get involved with LifeVantage, trying to get into the videos and some type of education. And then I'm trying to tap into the business on how I can help distributors and customers and educate. So those are my 5 things, and it's been very, very helpful.
Awesome.
Let's see, what else?
Very good.
I'm trying, become laser focused with my blinders on and not worrying about what else anybody else is doing. I started treating my business like my own and personalizing it towards me. I'm trying to keep a positive attitude, putting fear behind me, and changing my mindset of empowerment and intentionality. And I've stopped trying to persuade people and started influencing instead.
Very good. Sounds like someone's been paying attention to these calls, you know, the nuggets from John Maxwell and all of that. Very good. All right, one other question.
Okay.
Did you have any kind of different expectations going into Elite Academy this time, knowing that you're really advanced already into those middle ranks, that you're more officially a leader? So did you have any different expectations? Did you go in to Elite Academy this time as a Pro 4 thinking or expecting something different than just even the last one in Orlando?
Not at first, but when I got there and walked across the stage, it changed everything. I started feeling like a leader. I started realizing that I need to change my mindset and start holding myself accountable, and just start moving forward as a leader instead of as somebody floating down the river. And like that.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'm so excited for you, Wendy. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for
Lisa.
sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. I was going to go through a couple of things here with the pace setters, but oops, I guess I'll kind of leave it there. And Mike, I guess you wanted to go ahead and do some stuff, so we'll sort of skip the whole pace setter and the Puerto Vallarta because we're running out of time. Because I do need time at the end again, too.
Honey, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make me the host, and then you're going to have to click stop sharing.
Oops.
Bottom, and so that I can share, and you're going to have to minimize the screen.
All right. Stop sharing.
You make me the host.
And more. Make host.
Awesome. Awesome.
There you go.
Okay, thank you so much. Kathy, great job. Awesome. I wrote down some of the stuff Kathy was saying, some of the stuff Wendy was saying. As you can learn from other people. It doesn't matter what your rank is. It doesn't matter. You can always learn from somebody. One of the things that I've taken away big time recently is just learning from other people. So I want to get to this. I want to be able to share my screen with you guys. So hold on one second. Okay, can you guys see can you see the PowerPoint?
Yep. Yep.
All right, hold on a second. I don't know why it's way over here. It makes no sense. Honey, this is not working. Okay, is it bigger now? Is it bigger now, honey?
A little bit.
Is
I
it?
mean, it's not full screen, but
Is it full screen now?
nope.
I've got it full screen on my end.
There you go.
Okay, is it full screen now?
Yeah, but you know what? You're cutting in and out, so you've got like an unstable connection too.
I just hooked up to the Wi-Fi. Makes no sense.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
Can you guys
Okay.
hear me better now?
Yeah.
Is everybody else muted? Okay, can you see everything okay now? Kathy, can you guys see everything now? Okay, yes. Okay, so guys, first real quick before I go into this, and actually, you know what? I'm going to wait till I get to that part. So this is the first slide. You're talking, if you're talking, you can talk to people about biohacking. We're no longer the Protandim company, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. We're a biohacking company now. Next slide should be a slide about yourself so that you can tell people about yourself, whether you're presenting the one-on-one. You can see this is about our family. It's about our new coaching company. You can see a picture of Lisa eating ice cream in the airport in Dallas, which is my favorite picture. Am I doing okay, honey? Am I doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then you want to put some stuff for yourself. Here, you could just put your name here if you wanted to. If you just wanted to put your name and your rank and then talk about yourself, you could do that also. So then I like to talk about Google because I ask people where they were back in 1998. And then think about this. What did we use before Google, right? Does anybody know that? What did we use before Google? Like the library, right? Like, did we even have anything that we could use? Like my friend Ben said, I think we used the library, or we used those little tabs at the top of AOL and it said sports or whatever, you know. And so we can talk about that. And then I say, what you're hearing about is a disruptive technology in the health and wellness industry, like Google came and was a category creating product on the internet, which everybody uses now. So, and then I talk a little bit about Apple here. Guys, look, Apple and Google go back and forth as the two top brands. I mean, look at this. Google is a $109 billion company here. Okay? And so then I put in here, I put in the ABC Primetime with the product video, the lifebiohack.com video. Lisa or I can send you this. It has the video already in there. So if you download it onto your phone or on your computer from Dropbox, you can pull it right up and play it, okay? You can see it starts to play. Then I go in and I describe, you're going to tell them what biohacking is. Two definitions of biohacking. Then I like to talk about these three things. These are three major things the three most important things that cause sickness and disease. Inflammation and oxidative stress in the upper left, mitochondrial function that causes where 90% of your energy stores comes from, and your gut health. And that's what nutrigenomics is, restoring and start hacking back your health, okay? Then we talk a little bit about what is oxidative stress and how does it happen? Through exercise, through radiation, through, pumping gas, whatever it comes through. And then you talk about the apple, and then you can talk about free radical damage and oxidative stress and how it relates to every disease. Every slide should be under a minute, and you'll finish these in about 30 minutes. And we want to be in that 30 to 40 minute range because people lose interest if you go beyond that. So I was listening to Sean and Michelle Poe go over their presentation that's very almost identical to this. And Mark Gordon was doing it, and they all put it together and all duplicatable, and everybody can do it. And you can talk about, universities that have studied our products and that are, have validated our products. American Heart Association, National Institute of Aging, Johns Hopkins. You can talk about Vanderbilt and VCU, and so you can talk about these things. IO. And you can talk about PubMed and say, this is where you go to do your research. Don't use Google. What I say here is Google is a search engine, not a research engine. You can go here to PubMed, and I tell them, look, tell someone when you're sitting with them to type in any product that they're using. They won't fight them. Tell them to type in oxidative stress and a disease that's related to them. And then they'll see the significance of where oxidative stress is. And then as we talk about the solution to oxidative stress. And it's easy. Once you understand this, you understand the difference in technology. I too took tons of supplements for years. So did Lisa. So did our families. Now we can eliminate and we can activate our body like the fire hose rather than eliminating one-to-one. I remember back when we first got it, Daniel used to say, do you want to be on the 1-to-1 or do you want to be on the 1-to-1 million team? Every second, every hour of every day. And Brandon used to say, you could throw a cup of water on the wall behind me. You guys can see the lights in Vegas. You could throw a cup of water on here and it would get rid of one patch, but we don't want that. We want to turn our body's production of catalase and glutathione and SOD, gene expression. We can talk about that. I love this. Washington State said NRF2 may become the most extraordinary and therapeutic preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. We have the most potent, patented, scientifically validated NRF2 activator in history. We've already found out that we can say that, you know, we reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And then this is a result, and Kathy, you'll have to remind me, it just popped in my head. Daniel asked me for this the other day, so when I send it to him, I couldn't find it, and I just found it today. So this is a study on MS for one of Luke's friends. So this talks about the study of MS, and it talks about Protandim and BG12 and that type of stuff. So, and then we can talk about Protandim, the solution for oxidative stress. Combats cellular stress through the NRF2 pathway and reducing oxidative stress. ESCG certified and NSF certified. You know, solution to help slow down cellular aging. Very simple. And we can talk about what is mitochondrial dysfunction. Converts food energy into cellular energy and ATP, adenosine phosphate. And look at what's, guys, this should blow your mind away. Look at what mitochondrial dysfunction is, what it's related to. Lou Gehrig's disease, Huntington's disease, epilepsy, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, diabetes, cancer, muscular dystrophy, you know, autism, fibromyalgia, all of this stuff. You can talk about this, okay? Then you can go on and talk about the benefits of NRF1, increased cellular energy, performance through energy production, enhanced cellular health, improve sleep quality, and promote cellular ability to network. That's huge, okay? Protandim NRF1 is the solution to restore cellular youth to your body by creating new mitochondria and repairing mitochondria. I can just tell you guys this, it's better now in this product than it's ever been, okay? And then you can talk about true science. You can talk about, guys, people want to see pictures. I still can't get over this one. I mean, Lisa and I talk about this all the time. She can tell when I haven't been using true science, you know? And it's really funny how old I was. Just in a suite with about 70 people, and no one ever guesses my age. They always guess about 10 years younger, and that's because of our products. Okay, here's one with Axio and Protandim NRF2 and Axio, and you can see this mental clarity. Just look at this, the writing before and the writing after. Actually, what's funny about some of this is some of the words were spelled wrong, and you can see how they now the words correctly. And Dr. Huey is doing some things with some patients of his that are just blowing my mind, and we want to start doing some interviews in this stuff. So it's significant. Here's my friend Tommy Galladay, who did this in 90 days. And so you can talk about the enhancement of the diet and exercise program too. Pet Tandem, National Animal Supplement Council. Lisa and I have a new business partner, Ben Davidson, who's one of the top dog trainers, and he wants to put every dog in California and around the nation on Pet Tandem because he's seen results in all of his champion dogs just in a month. You guys know dogs age 7 times faster, and he's started to see the change in recovery and that type of stuff. So, and then you talk about the package. I talk about the breakdown in packages in our group. You know, I talk about, you know, that you're going to have to purchase whichever package you feel best about, but we know that the success of getting a return on your investment is purchasing a platinum pack, and because all the benefits that go with it, you get 30% in savings. You get you know, special stuff at events. You get you don't have to, you know, benefits for when we have trips and stuff on not having to get as many points. So there's massive benefits from a platinum pack, right? And I talk about that. You can look at all the stuff that you get it, you know. So I like to talk about if you're going to open a grocery store, do you just have bread and milk, or do you have fruits and vegetables and, you know, all the other stuff? You can't know these products if you don't take them. I'll just tell you, Lisa and I don't just take the products just because we're a distributor. We take them because they work, and we take all of the products every single month, every single day. So, and I talk about this. Look at this. My wife came up with this idea, which is brilliant. For the Vitality Stack, it's $5 a day. Now, I'm just going to tell you guys this. You can take it however you want. It breaks my heart. It doesn't upset me. It breaks my heart because this is $5 a day, okay? And only 9% of the LifeVantage distributors are taking a Vitality Stack. Come on, guys. Seriously, 9% of an active LifeVantage distributor are taking this.
You're
It's
frozen.
100%,
There you
okay? It should be 100%. This puts you 3/4 of the way towards being fully commissioned. You wouldn't believe how many people come to me and say, I didn't get paid, or I didn't get a check, or whatever. You should be pushing this at $5 a day. Get the prevention before you have to pay a lot more money when you have issues, okay? And then talk about the return on their investment. Talk about every package that they sell the first time, whether it's a customer or distributor, it's 40%. Nobody in sales gets 40% on the first purchase ever. Can you imagine if you were in real estate and you got 40% on the first purchase, okay? And then you talk about residual income. Average residual income, you get about 5% of your earnings. Imagine if you got 5% of everything that you referred somebody on Amazon. I'll give you a prime example. I'm in a room with Fed Bulk and Beth Bulk. Beth is buying luggage like we have, a steamer like we have, and a phone charger like we have. I'm not getting paid for that. But when you refer people to take this, you get paid every time they order it. Then I like to talk about a generational matching bonus because I think this is the best, one of the best bonuses we have, which means every time you sign somebody up, they sign somebody up, you get 10% on the first person and then 5% off of the check of the next 4 people. I know people that have matching bonuses off of 15 and 20 elite distributors, okay? So there's no such thing as a pyramid scheme. They're illegal. This right here proves it. Pro 9s have passed Pro 10s. I can tell you right now, we're getting ready to get a new Pro 10, and she's passing her enroller, who's a Pro 9. So this bonus makes it even better. And then here's the monthly averages that you get paid. Ask the person what they're willing to do to make a difference to be able to get to this point, and what they're willing to sacrifice. And then tell them, say, look, everything is about timing, okay? Everett Rogers invented this system back in 1962 and taught it at Harvard and many different schools. You can see where LifeVantage is. We're in the early, we've already passed the innovators. We're in the early adoption. And you know what I think about, and I talk about this when I talk about this slide, is my chiropractor, Dr. John Huey, said it would take 10 years for people to understand this. 2 to 5 years gets you through that innovators. The next 2 years is where we're at with the early adopters. In the next 2 years, we're going to go into momentum, and you can see it. 80% of the money is made during the early majority. 34% of the people join during that time frame. And then 34% join in the late majority. And then 16% join when we're only in 2 to 3%. And I love this. J. Paul Getty said, I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. And so this is a great slide. And then I finish with this very quick, okay? Timing's about everything, okay? this 2020 will be the end of the 10 years that Dr. Huey said when people would start to know about this. Nobody still knows about it. In my mastermind, there's one guy that knows about it, and he learned about it from a John Maxwell person, knowing that John is now, has spoken at our events and is now taking our product. So I'm just super excited. And I say, look, this is us. This is you. We're a surfer waits for that wave, and there's no longer time to wait, guys. This is going bigger. There's a billionaire at my mastermind that's looking for what we already have. He said he wants something that can reduce oxidative stress and inflammation, clean up your gut, and repair mitochondria. You have it, guys. You have it. I don't care when he listens, but he's eventually going to figure it out. And, it's really funny. Lisa and I did his test, and I found out a lot of things about how healthy we really are from these products, and how even I needed to hear that, but it validated even more, and it continues to validate. So I'm going to finish there, and I'm going to turn it back over to Lisa, but I want to say one thing before I do that. Honey, I don't see you now. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just make Lisa. It's in alphabetical order. Honey, I don't see you.
I'm right at the top.
You're
I'm
not gonna
above your name.
Huh?
I'm above your name.
Not on my side. You're not. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yes, Mike.
You're gonna have
We'll
to
be sending it out.
Okay, you're gonna have to make me the host again to be able to stop recording. Okay. Do you need your slides? Okay.
Yeah, I do. That's
Okay,
why
I'm
I
going to send
needed
it back
you to
over to
make me a
Lisa.
host.
So, okay, honey, you're going to have to finish up. So here we go. I'm going to send it back over to Lisa. And I just made what happened. There you go.
The PowerPoint there we go. Okay. Before I pull up my PowerPoint, I want Lydia, you're still on here, right? To type down in the chat box a random number between 1 and 7 only.
Uh-oh. I'm on my phone. I don't know where the chat box is.
Oh, that's okay.
No,
that's
it's
okay.
on the
You're
bottom of
unmuted.
the
You can
phone.
just tell me that number then.
Oh, geez. Wait, now I lost the whole thing.
Give your number just say it out loud, Lydia.
It's a 6.
Okay, there you go.
6. Okay. Perfect. Oops. And as soon as I can find my PowerPoint, I will pull up and tell you who the 6 is. There we go. I got to share my screen first, because that way nobody knows or thinks we're making stuff up. Share screen. Here we go. There it is. Number 6 is George Danisco. Woohoo, George. This is what George is getting. This was because we had said that everybody who pre-registered for Anaheim was going to be put into a raffle. And so George Danisco is the winner of a $50 Visa gift card, which will be distributed and able to be used in Anaheim. But wait, there is one more chance. For those of you who hadn't gotten the discounted rate of $79, but still pre-register for Anaheim by June 15th, basically 1 month before Elite Academy is going to go into a drawing again, and they're going to get a $25 gift card. So we really want to stress the importance of registering, pre-registering, and just really want to encourage the team to just get out there, do what you need to do, get to the events, because as you heard from Wendy, you heard from Kathy, how the mindsets get shifted, how you really start to see yourself differently. You know, getting to that Pro 4, walking across that stage like what Wendy did, she said that's what really made it feel real to her. So I want to congratulate George for the $50 gift card, and I can't wait to find out who's going to win the $25 gift card. So back to Mike as the host again.
All right.
And I'm done.
All right, cool. So, all right.
There we go.
All right, cool. So let me finish up, guys. Does anybody have any questions about anything or a comment before we go? We got about 4 minutes. We usually go about 45 minutes. We got about 4 minutes. Does anybody have a comment? Guys, we had about 30 people on tonight. It's awesome. Anybody have a comment, or I'm gonna post in the, if you're not a freedom fighter on our team page, I'm going to post the slides in there in the Freedom Fighter page. So do that, and then you guys can have them in the group in there. But does anybody have a comment? Unmute yourself, or want to ask a question? Anybody? Here we go.
Mike,
Yes,
I want to say that is just a kick in PowerPoint. It's simple. It's to the point. It covers everything. I love it.
thank you so much.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
Hi, Mike. Hi, everybody. Patty Wagner up in Grand Island, New York. Thank you so much for the invite.
You're
I am
welcome.
going to I'm going to copy your team leadership. It's going to be awesome up here. Thank you so much for the mentorship. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome. You're welcome. We're home.
Welcome. Thanks for joining.
it. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Okay.
Anybody else? Unmute yourself if you haven't, if you need to unmute yourself. I think somebody somebody have Daniel, did you have a question?
Am I unmuted?
You are.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm Todd Kasky. I work for Patty.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, I think it was very nice. Very good.
Thank you.
Well, are you guys in separate rooms?
Yeah,
We're
Lisa's
at separate ends of the state, basically.
Yeah, I'm in Las Vegas today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Destiny, for your comment over there.
Yep.
Anything else?
Next Thursday, I'll finish up what I wanted to do with the Pace Setter program,
Yep.
the Puerto Vallarta incentive trip, and kind of lay some of that all out for the team, and that everybody is very doable, very doable. We're going to talk about that. We're going to try and make a point of reiterating that, making sure, that we all know where we are as far as points, and put together an action plan on how to get those points.
Guys, you guys got to take action. I've had some serious action with people. I've had to step out of meetings today and do 3-way phone calls with people. All you have to do is get people on the phone with other people. You'll see a massive change. We've been having a 70 to 80% closing ratio. I've been really learning from great closers how to influence people and get people to make decisions, and we have something pretty special. So before we go, one more opportunity. Anybody want to make a comment or ask a question?
Good stuff, Mike. Thank you very much.
No, glad you could join us.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, guys. Thank you all. I will get the PowerPoint in. You will have it in the morning. I have a meeting that I have to go to. So thank you guys all for being on. We love you guys. We're honored and blessed to be a part of what LifeVantage has to offer. And you guys are just all amazing people. And we're grateful. And I said, humble and honored to be a part. Honey, you want to say anything before we go? Yes.
Nope. Just thank you again to especially Kathy and Wendy for taking time out to really be just contributing to this team, because this isn't about us. This is about the team. This is about team building. This is about building up the leaders. One of the first things that from stage we were hearing when we first got involved was basically you climb up that mountain and you throw the ladder down.
Yep.
So that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to throw that ladder down even as we're still climbing the mountain ourselves. You
Yep.
know, many hands make light work. So let's just lock arms and keep moving forward, everybody. Have a blessed night.
Goodbye,
We'll
everybody.
see
Have a
you
good weekend. Good rest of your week. Love you guys. Thank you so much.